Okay, guys, I'm going to create the ancient and accepted American Rite of Freemasonry. And they're going to be individuals who are going to claim to do so, mental retards for the most part, who are going to claim to have done so. There's no reason to believe that they have the credibility to do so or to contrast my particular claim, an honest claim. I'm the one who created the ancient and accepted American Rite of Freemasonry. It's going to be incorporated into the general culture, structurally and formally. Okay? It's going to incorporate the Uriah Society within it. That's an internal CIA fraternal order that's going to help improve the world, take us to the next paradigm. I'm Shawn Dexter John, also known as Shawn D. John, and or simply Shawn John. My first name is S-H-A-W-N, and that's the reality. I was actually born with that name. I'm American for the most part. Yeah, I'm American. I'm a citizen of the United States, but I was born in the Caribbean. And hopefully that's not a detriment in the short or long term, okay? That's my perspective, and that ought to be everyone's perspective. So the ancient and accepted American Rite of Freemasonry is going to follow the traditional culture of Freemasonry, that which is ethical and commendable to every race, ethnicity, gender, both genders, and every other social class or category, social demographic group or social group, however you label it. Okay, and the initiation process is not going to be unethical at all. It's going to be affiliated with government and civil society for the most part. And I say, there's only government and civil society. That's not true. There's a lot of spaces between government and civil society. With government and civil society, they serve as the two pinnacles of not the core sectors per se, as I've described earlier, but the two pinnacles, all incorporated in the five core sectors of modern society, government and civil society. So it's the ancient and accepted American Rite of Freemasonry is going to be oriented toward Americana, meaning liberalism, social democracy, integration, world governance, led by a world government of the United Nations. I was negotiated, as I've explained, to be the first world president later on. I'm likely going to have a secondary moniker, alias, and this is top secret. Eventually, this is going to be removed from online by the end of 2024, as I have decided. And I'm in the process of altering my identity. I'm going to keep the Shawn Dexter John identity as my secondary alias, protected by Interpol and the Central Intelligence Agency and United Nations courts, lawful courts. And there's nothing to worry about. Okay? So are we going to introduce this to every federal agency and every agency of the United Nations, the ancient and accepted Rite of Freemasonry of the American brand or strain? Essentially, that's what it presents itself as. And all throughout the Americas, we're going to have offices over the next 20, 30 years established. And eventually, we're going to work toward a global society of Freemasonry based on ancient and accepted rights and principles. I mean, sub-rights and principles and tenets. None of this is conjectures. None of these are conjectures, okay, guys? These are vetted principle tenets, what's entailed within the concept and the manifestation of the American Rite of Freemasonry, are comprehensive and legitimate and authentic and pragmatic and completely realistic in application to the theory, the applied theory of human development and humanism, interfaith humanism. So the ancient and accepted American Rite of Freemasonry believes in one God. I've explained this in other publications, who that is. I presented myself authentically. This is an emergency rescue mission. I'm not speaking of any homeless shelter. This is a rescue mission. We are at war. The whole planet is at war. And we're going to have to find a way to end this war and to never have nuclear threats ever again, which actually threatens millions or billions of individuals, or the annihilation of the whole planet or its functionality. So things are going to be staged over the next 2 to 3 years, and within the next few weeks, things are going to happen in Lower Manhattan. Everyone is going to be evacuated, but we are going to rebound. We're going to resurrect into remaining and being improved as the leading nation of the globe. And speaking of the United States of America, yes, I am honestly the chief manager of the United States government and its partnerships. I am not a crazy man. I'm not crazy in any capacity, per any definition. But I'm going to propose to myself and the rest of our intelligence community a lot of tenets, legal tenets and principles for serving the CIA's objective of creating a global society and global citizenship under a world government of 5 continental unions, with each and every one of the member states, each and every member state of the United Nations General Assembly within that those 5 constraints remain even independent and sovereign, but of unbreachable security and regulation and fraternity. And I'm not speaking about cheap and superficial fraternity. I'm speaking of political fraternity, diplomatic surrender, and surrendering to diplomacy, and pacifism, and that sort of orientation of logic and progressivism. Okay, so I'm not schizophrenic at all. Okay, some of the work that you guys have seen, especially the legal article in New Society's Concept of the Apperception of an Eastern Caribbean Model of Commonality, the one that's only 204 pages for the most part, is completely literate, completely intellectual, in brevity, and completely genius. I'm a natural born and trained genius for reasons I've explained before. I'm not here to brag, but I need the whole Central Intelligence Agency and the federal government of the United States to commit to following our orders. What I've sanctioned, authorized, and what I've communicated on consistently over the past few weeks and months. Okay? I'm not here to create destruction. I'm not here to create calamity. I'm here to help lead Earth into a new paradigm, to a kingdom come, what we call kingdom come in Freemasonry, meaning a utopia, entry into heaven, human singularity, immortality. That's our secret. The secret is that Jesus Christ, God, myself, is the secret of Freemasonry. I'm always here on the planet consistently under various aliases, usually the most famous man in the world, but I'm not going to go out further on that. Here to make sure that humanity enjoys the human journey, but at the same time earns getting to the next level, which is heaven. Okay? I'm here to calm you guys down. Vouchers are going to be issued to our households all throughout the city of New York, specifically Manhattan, but eventually the whole city of New York over the next few weeks or so, secretly briefed by CIA and other federal agents, and they're going to be moved out all throughout the country, and most permanently and a few temporary, and they're going to be allowed to enter the middle class, those not there, and some will be in the lower middle class, given the acute and the clear opportunity to easily get into the regular middle class and even upper middle class, as we wish for each and every American and citizen and immigrant alike. Okay, so we are working toward a perfected world. We're going to create a union of the Americas in 25 years. In about a year and a half, 2 years, we're going to create an economic area of the Americas, EAA, Free Trade and Economic Area of the Americas. And I came up with a plan. No one else did. There's no point. I need you guys to trust me completely. I need you guys to trust my logic. Okay? We're going to create a central fund, a central bank of the Americas, and it's going to be able to finance the U.S. government. The shutdown is going to, the secrets that shut down the bankruptcy statement we've received from the World Bank and financiers all throughout the world and the IMF, which denotes the reality of a bankruptcy and inflation, will be removed from records and will commit to the Amero secretly cryptocurrency as a cryptocurrency, and will ease into a union of the Americas and having a central currency for the whole Americas, with the U.S. dollars first serving as the back-end, and then eventually integrated within that concept, applied as reality. Okay, we're going to find a way to erase economic debt, financial debt. Okay, and New York is going to emerge to be the Dubai 2.0. Eventually, at the end of a 20-year period of development, infrastructural development, and investment in that city toward it serving as a global capital, the world capital of the United Nations as a bona fide world government in 2044. So there's nothing else to say on this matter, but the ancient and accepted American rite of Freemasonry will be incorporated and registered within the Central Intelligence Agency and the rest of the federal government of the United States as a branch of Freemasonry, the global society of intelligence and security and humanism secretly. And we'll be able to move forward with our plan of saving every human soul into the heavenly realm, not via unnecessary death, but in speaking of immortality, heaven on earth into heaven itself. Okay, guys? All right.